What's going on, movie fans? My name is Michael Weir, and today we are talking about the 2006 B-rate at best horror movie. I don't even know if you'd call it B, because B is supposed to be in my mind, B-rate horror movie is oh, well, we loved it even though it was so bad. The Thing is a B-rate horror movie, in my opinion. The They Live B-rate horror movie, in my opinion. This is nowhere near those movies. I mean, those movies are better. This is a C-rate horror movie. I guess. Stay Alive. It stars Frankie Muniz, and that's actually why I ended up watching this movie in the first place, because my wife loves Frankie Muniz, but she had never seen Stay Alive. So we went to go find it on Amazon, and I was like, wait a minute, no, let's not buy a digital copy, let's buy a physical copy. And so I ordered the DVD from Amazon, and they got my money either way. But the point is, I was able to obtain the DVD, and they came, and it said it was new and used, and the case is broken, and the DVD itself is, can't really see it there, but it's super scratched. But I watched it last night, it worked. So that's fine. Watched the movie, and then I was like, you know what? I want to do a review for it. There's some things I want to say. There's some things I have to say about 2006 Stay Alive. So, if you're still interested, let's do the review. Alright guys, so Stay Alive, it stars Frankie Muniz, who was huge in the early 2000s, late 90s. He was Frankie Muniz. He wears a backwards, upside-down visor in this hat to show you how early 2000s popular that he is. It also stars one of the McBoyles, and it stars these two from One Tree Hill, and it stars this girl, who did a lot of things. So those are your people in this movie, and those 5 characters are playing a video game in honor of their friend who died of mysterious circumstances. Now, you, the viewer, know that he didn't just die of mysterious circumstances. The game actually killed him. It hung him in his house the exact same way that he died in the video game. And what you know is that if you die in the video game, you die for real. And yeah, that's a ripoff of Nightmare on Elm Street, but oh well. So these 5 characters start playing this video game, and then things start to go wrong for them, and as bodies start to drop, they start to realize, wait a minute, if you die in the video game, you die for real, pause the video game, okay, the movie's over. But wait, it's not, because the video game's nah fam, we're playing real life, which is Nightmare on Elm Street 2. That's fine. Whatever, move on. So the video game starts to come for them, which is where they have to get crafty, play the video game. They realize that roses help stop the woman that's coming after them, and they have to defeat the evil. And that's basically as much as I can give you without spoiling things. Now, it's a 2006 horror movie, so I'm going to spoil some things in my likes and dislikes, but I'm not going to go any further with synopsis. Let's just get into my likes and dislikes. First thing I like about this movie is that they have to say a seance to get into the game. I actually like that a lot. They don't realize they're cursing themselves once they say this seance, but once they do it, they think they're just entering the game, but really, they're entering the reality that this woman from the game can now come kill them in real life. It's just kind of a cool concept. I also like how early 2000s it felt. Maybe that's just because I'm a product of that era. I was 16 when this movie originally came out, and so seeing the way that girls wore their hair, or the guys dressed, or just things that went on in general in the movie, the music in the movie, all that stuff was very early 2000s, and I just enjoyed that. So if you like a nostalgia trip to the early 2000s, then this will be your movie. The movie has its flaws, and a lot of it is based, in my opinion, in the storyline itself. Okay, I gave you all that setup earlier, but then after that, I feel there should have been more, and they just pushed it all through. They were here we go, pushing in production, get it done, churn this one out, it's going to be a good horror movie, kids are going to like it, it'll be fine. Oh, make it PG-13. That's a big issue, because every time there's a kill in this movie, in the game, they look pretty gruesome, but they're clearly playing a PlayStation 2, so it's PlayStation 2 graphics, which I'm not going to deem the movie for. That was the system of the time. However, when they kill someone in the game, it's oh, I can't wait to see that death in real life. And when the death comes in real life, they always cut away. They always cut away. Somebody goes to get stabbed in the throat, and it's cut away. And another guy goes to have this weird contraption put in his mouth and killed, and cut away. And you never get to see the aftermath. You see glimpses of the aftermath, but you never actually get to see the gory aftermath. And that's probably because it wasn't rated R. Something that if they'd just gone with an R rating and shown you that, it might have made this movie more enjoyable. But then you've got the storyline itself. So I told you guys they're going after the evil, and this is where we're going to get into some heavy spoilers. So they learn throughout the game that you need 3 nails. Once you put 3 nails in the original body of the woman, which is upstairs in a tower inside a graveyard, then you have to burn her blood. So set her on fire. So they put the nails in her, they set her on fire, things start to go down, and Frankie Muniz, who you thought died earlier, just comes back and saves the day. And I can only imagine that at some point they were getting ready to kill Frankie Muniz, and they cut the camera away like they always do, and then a producer stepped in and they're like, he's Frankie Muniz. You're not killing him. That's not happening. As they were like, well, we can shoehorn him into the end. That's fine. Shoehorn him in. And so they did. And so he shows up at the end with like this big rose bush to ward her off. And then they grab their friend and they pull him out. And the three of them exit the house. And then the movie cuts to a video game store that's selling Stay Alive, the video game. And then a guy puts it in and starts playing. And you see the curse reactivate. But they've already killed the body and burned it and destroyed it, so that shouldn't restart the curse. And then it just ends. And then the movie's just over. And it just makes you feel like, wait a minute, I feel like there's more. I did read online that there's a director's cut, a red cover DVD, and I didn't realize at the time. I bought the blue one, which is theatrical, and the red director's cut actually has a little bit more to it, and maybe that would help understand or connect a few more dots, but there's so many missing pieces to this puzzle. When the movie ends, it just sort of falls flat, which is too bad because, like I said, there's some enjoyable themes in this movie, but because they didn't put an emphasis on how they ended it, it just sort of ended. And it kind of does the trope that I hate the most, where it goes viral. And of course, they didn't have go viral in 2006. So in 2006, what they did was they had everybody's going to buy a copy of this game, and that's technically the same thing as going viral. Now, normally I knock something for going viral, but because this was before its time, I'm not going to knock it for that. I'm just going to say, hey, that's a neat idea. Now everybody's going to go buy the game. But again, is the curse dead? Is it not dead? And maybe that's what they wanted you to think, because maybe they thought, hey, we're going to do a sequel on this, and they never did. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of potential in there that they never realized, and it could have been more. Like, tag on 30 more minutes to this movie, just make it 30 minutes longer, and you could have had just a lot more connection to the pieces of this movie, and it would have been a good time. As it stands, it's not that it's a bad time, and it's a movie that I'm glad I own now. I'll probably revisit one day when my kids are a little older and they're starting to watch horror movies, and I'm like, you can't watch Saw yet, but you can watch Stay Alive. I feel like that's what I'll do, and then I'll have to get into what's a PlayStation 2. I'm not looking forward to that conversation. But guys, that's my review of Stay Alive. If you enjoyed this movie review, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to share this movie review with your friends, make sure you do it by hitting the share button. If you've seen the 2006 horror movie, like I said, maybe C-movie, Stay Alive, well, put your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. You know I love talking about it with you guys. And finally, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that, because I got a lot of content coming your way. And I'm going to see Morbius eventually, but like next weekend, I think I'm going to have Ambulance, Sonic, and Morbius. It's a lot of reviews at one weekend, but it's just when I'm going to be able to see them all. So there you go. Lots of new movie reviews coming soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. So I guess after credit scene, yeah, this is my new place I told you guys how it's going to be. I got the setup. I got the chair, the director chair, got the Mike Flick sign, the lights. Yeah. I got Spider-Man dangling. See? That's Spider-Man and Green Goblin. Yeah. New setup. And I don't have to take this one down, which is a plus.